I'm gonna go ahead and start, even though I'm all alone, so sad and lonely. But I guess welcome. This is the third end of the third week of the first ever competitive game on Bismarck's Paradox server, and yeah, we've made it to 1600 now, so it's nearing the late game. There's a lot, some border changes. Some people have died or are in the process of dying, but we'll get to that when we get to them. So our first country, as we so often start out with, is formerly Morocco, now Andalusia, and unfortunately has a very terrible king. But I think Andalusia, definitely one of the most powerful countries in the world, is currently just behind Ottomans as the second great power. Income of a little bit under 600k manpower, and pretty large force limit, about 350. As for ideas, I guess they finished up their quality and now have gone religious, which I'm not super sure what he's thinking of doing with that, although the Deus Volt -20 versus other religions is very, very nice. My thought would, taking extra 20% to land, especially if you can do it still while you have this, like, it does stack, so that's 45% extra land you can take. That's like a huge amount. So, we've only got about 9 years left on the age bonus, so I'm not sure if Stanley or the Andalusia player is looking to use that or not. But not allied to France anymore. Truce for 2 years, so that is potentially it. We're allied with Zulu, so we can't can't really use that extra 20% land taken against the Ottomans. Maybe Dalmatia could be a target, but France or Zulu are the obvious possibilities, and being that we are no longer allied with France, without knowing the Diplo, I would say that's a pretty strong indicator. Not quite sure why we haven't taken this tech yet, but I don't know. Missions. Still, do we have any good missions to use? Because I know there's some very strong Andalusian missions. Lots of free manpower. There's some with monarch points, some with morale. Oh, okay, we did use a 5 morale one, but I guess sort of other thing to note, we do have a colony up and running. So actually that's 2. We got La Plata and Brazil, which is with no Portugal player. This is just great. It's like if he's able to get these up and running a bit more, even more land. Like, they give so much manpower and force limit. How much? Already getting not really that much from our colonies. Only about 15,000 manpower for now. But that definitely should go up, especially... Are they crown colonies? That's what I wanted. They are crown colonies for now. Alright, but whenever they do get up there, that will definitely be a boost, and that will help him soar over Ottomans, who's just... land is good, but the amount of land and money that these colonies can bring is going to be quite strong. I would also expect him to be done quite a few building. Oh, it's a lot of manufactories that we haven't started on. Huh. So yeah, not many soldiers' household. Jeez, so he's got this much manpower without any soldiers' households built. That is, this country is. If he gets the cash and the time to fully build up, West Africa's not built, Iberia's not really built, hasn't built his training fields. I mean, he does that, he's going to be over 1,000,000 manpower, not even including when the colonies are done. Because you also get part of the manpower for building like soldiers' households and other manpower buildings there as well. So, uh, yeah, I think Andalusia is probably in contender for strongest nation in the game. Definitely. Let's go ahead, take a look at France. So I guess sort of first thing you can notice, France is involved in a war against Sweden, which I think we'll go ahead and cover that aspect of war and diplomacy later. But yeah, when we get to Poland or Sweden. But for now, diplomatically, so our alliance with Andalusia has broken. I guess that may have been to maintain the Netherlands alliance and go and help the Poles, so as not to be breaking the rules. Ideas, we're still not done economic. I know. Yeah, don't even have tech 15 yet for soldiers' households or forced march. We're a little bit behind. I'm not really sure why we're so far behind on the admin. I guess we probably maybe a lot of bad kings or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, this is definitely behind. Like, losing out on this 20% dev cost is rather significant. Big changes for France is I think there was deals made with Austria / Dalmatia, where I guess they sort of became friends / neutral in exchange for this chunk of Italy. So France is starting to make some okay amount of money through trade. Income though only 130, so that's less than half of Andalusia. Other thing to look at, our force limit is 200, which, considering that we have quantity ideas, is really not all that. Yeah, as I suspected, we don't really have many buildings done. I can't really say that I blame the player. It's hard to make money as France, and with all the wars that they've been involved in, I think, this definitely makes me think, I see we're against Sweden. Sweden pissed us off, and so we're fighting, and we're losing money when what we really need to be doing is building up our country. We still got some good manufactories. We got a lot, right now, Andalusia can just kill France easily if he decides to turn on them. They are more than twice as strong as France, twice the income, almost twice the force limit. Quality is probably even similar, and yeah, all these border forts are also still only level 2. So I think this France is definitely vulnerable, and despite having, this is a good chunk of French land, but it's just not enough, really. And I think part of it is missing out on our dev cost. We've really just lost a lot of free development because of that. Things. I am the Sweden player, so you can decide if I'm biased or not, but I would definitely say / think that, while this chunk of Genoa is nice, I think you should try and get more if you can. You can't just sit on this forever. You need to increase first thing first is you have to find ways to increase your money. You've managed to get GB to not steal your trade out of Champagne, which is fantastic. And actually, you might. There are definitely some ways you can probably improve the money you're making. Bordeaux, you should definitely be collecting here. You're the only one with trade power here. yes, it will reduce your efficiency here, but so you're sending all of your money to Champagne, so 12 ducats, and then that goes all the way to Genoa, where you only get half of it. So you're only making. Uh, it shouldn't be like a huge difference. It's not going to make you like another 30 ducats, but I think another 5 or 6 easily if you just make this collect, and maybe even collecting in Champagne if nobody else is pushing out of it. That could help you because right now you're giving a good chunk of all that money straight to Dalmatia. Alright, I think that should do it. Again, yeah, France just needs to build buildings and catch up to some of the stronger powers. Let's take a look at the Netherlands. So, Netherlands, yeah, I think they just have the Netherlands. They are surrounded by players on all sides, maintained their friendship with France, so seems to me like their only way to go is Prussia, really. I don't think they're. I mean, it's late enough. I don't think a naval invasion of GB is at all practical. Buildings, otherwise, they should be fully built. Yeah. Okay, you got all these temples. So yeah, first thing I noticed, you got all these yellow buildings for force limit. Force limit is definitely the most important building to be having at this point, especially for another. You don't have manpower, you're not going to have manpower. You don't have enough provinces or the trades goods for manpower. This is going to be basically, you're going to be a merc army almost immediately. So go into all these provinces with temples and kill them. Kill the temples. And replace them with manpower buildings. Do we have any soldiers' households? A few. Yeah, I mean, it's another. So, I mean, the nice thing, our force limit ain't too bad. And we don't even have quantity. Like, I think these are probably the right ideas for the Netherlands. Although, Explo... well, I suppose... Yeah, you're not losing a mill idea for it, so I suppose that could definitely be a big help. Because your colonies are going to be giving you a boost of manpower. Why is Brazil not giving it? Definitely make Brazil a crown colony. That should help boost up your... Yeah, that's 8,000 manpower right there. Yeah, you know, actually, the good thing for the Dutch is you're probably making more money. Prussia is likely your enemy. Yeah, you're even making more money than France. Holy crap. Your objective at this point should just be... Assuming that you're going to eventually fight Prussia for a 1v1, the longer you delay that 1v1, the better for the Netherlands. Because the bigger these colonies will get, the bigger your force limit and your manpower will be. Like, no, I have to go to the other tab. How much force limit are you getting from your colonies? Oh yeah, you don't even know what your West Indies is in? Yeah, make this a crown colony too. And look, yeah, force limit's 154 after making those colonies. And, oh, wait, we have a morale event. Really? What? I'm confused. Oh, okay, no, that was just a bug. We don't have... Oh, no, Grand Army. Okay, no. Never mind, I'm stupid. That was just a force limit modifier. So, yeah, I mean, the bigger these guys get, you can conquer, add more and more land to your colonies. You'll eventually just have more than Prussia, and that might be able to let you win out over his quality. So I think that is definitely your angle. Yeah, I think most things are fine. Probably want to replace these farm states on grain. There's one or two of them. with manpower, since manpower is what you're lacking. Money is not an issue for you. But yeah, big thing is kill temples, build more force limit, and get your colonies up so that they boost your army. Now let's move on to the big boy himself, Great Britain. So, manpower, yeah, not too bad, not too bad at all. Force limit of just over 200, and our money is not quite what I like to see here as GB. Not sure. I guess, well, a lot of it is probably just that, yeah, the Dutch is taking so much of the English Channel. How many boats do we have? Okay, where's our flagship? Just, alright, that's...
May I interject as GB player?
Sure.
So yeah, flagships there. A lot of money is being lost from the Netherlands. I can't say too much on my plans about that for, you know, diplomacy's sake. I've been building many factories, and basically, I'm still kind of learning how to do economy building and stuff. But I've been trying to get my nation back up. For example, in the Friday session, I got my economy up like 80 ducats or something. It was very nice just by building many factories. I haven't really be building sailors' houses because I
Yeah,
figured that economy will be more important for me because
sailor
navy is a
trade.
more important asset for
Yeah,
me.
sailors aren't really relevant for you. You get so much for free.
And right now my main economic thing has been I've been saving up for 1,000 ducats, upgrading central trade. I think I'll start building a lot of trade buildings when the new thing comes out. Uh, yeah, I want to get York in. Is York not a center of trade or
It is.
port?
It's level 3.
Oh, it's really hard to see because of the resolution.
Yeah, to boost your income, what you should also probably do, you should, if you, well, I don't, yeah, you don't have a merchant there. I don't know where all your merchants are, but if you have, oh yeah, probably just take it out of freaking Rio
I didn't
Grande.
realize I didn't have one in North Sea.
That's what you, yeah, well, don't put a transfer in it because you have 80% of the trade and no one else is collecting from there. You should just collect because, or, well, I mean, do it, test it yourself, like check for a month or two and then you can just switch it. But I think the same thing for France. Like you have 80% of 50 ducats, and here you only have 54% of that 80 ducats, or of that 50 ducats. So,
Uh, would you mind? Is would you mind testing it? I don't know.
I'd
Uh,
rather not reload the save. That'll just make everything.
yeah,
It
fair
should
enough.
work out for a little bit more money, or even if it's the same amount of money, it'll reduce the Netherlands' money. Which, if you think they are not friendly to you, that is definitely the thing to do.
Right.
Uh, what is it? Yeah, I mean, big thing you need to get these force limit buildings up. You don't have many of those. Uh, yeah, you built some soldiers' households for now. That's definitely the right thing to do. Probably kill the temples in in Ireland. They're useless.
Yeah.
Uh, what is it? What ideas do we have? Oh yeah, you should definitely sell. Like ten
I've
percent doesn't matter.
I've been doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Chivalric. Why did you take chivalric?
I didn't tufted, and I was already a couple ideas in, so I didn't want to
Oh,
waste.
okay. That would probably be something I'd be willing to. Well, I mean,
I
did you
was gonna
go?
take trade. I think. I don't know.
Okay. Well, definitely quality would be the
Quality was the
best.
mill idea I was gonna take, but I was thinking more trade first. Be a little more aggressive for money. But I was split between quality and trade at the time,
Quality is probably the
unfortunately.
thing because the thing is you don't have quality and Netherlands does, so there's a good chance that their boats just beat yours because quality is like the most important naval morale idea in this mod or naval fighting because it's the durability and the morale. I mean, well, naval morale is king. So it's really
Yeah.
whoever has the most naval morale wins if the number of heavies is equal. And how many do we have? We have 50 to 36. So Uh, I mean, yeah, you'd probably win just because you have more. Oh yeah.
So, Puff said that I should be building galleys because I have the plus galley ability off the channel. Um, is that true?
I mean, so galleys are good if you don't have naval force limit, and actually, like you have really low naval force limit. I don't know why it's so low. I mean, are all your colonies crown colonies?
I don't think the player one is.
Oh, it should definitely be. Oh, where's the thing? Oh, we need cash. It is.
Yeah.
Okay, everything. Okay, I don't know why it's so low. I guess you need to. I guess you
Build
also need to build the naval the
shipyards.
dockyards. Yeah, because
Alright.
the thing is, like, you're only 20 or 30 naval force limit more than Netherlands, which is bad. Like the thing is, Netherlands barely has a coast, so yeah. You know what you could do is like, if you get another 80 force limit out of like just from those, and you just build those all galleys, it's cheaper than heavies, and you'll just win anyway, just because you have more.
Yep.
So like yeah, off of like coast galleys do get a bonus, but so they're still fine. But I mean, one heavy is still better than one galley. It's just
You
whether or
know.
not you have the money. Uh, yeah. Okay, you're yeah sending everything up there. That's good. Oh yeah, and the thing that I was talking about with easy way to instantly boost your income in English channel: kill this flagship, rebuild it, and give it the what is it?
The trade one.
Yeah, the trade one. That's always better. You can
Yeah. All right.
the other two don't matter, but the trade one, put it in the trade fleet, and I mean, it's a whole bunch of extra trade power, which I mean every bit counts. So, uh, yeah, currently no allies, which kind of sort of makes sense for a GB without any real land in Europe. But what I would be thinking for you is I see what is it? I see France involved in
I know. I'm thinking about that right now.
yeah. So
I can't talk about it too much in this chat
yeah, of course. I
specifically.
mean, no, I mean there are possibilities like uh,
I think.
you can team up like with Prussia to go against the Netherlands, or
Yeah.
you can also say, hey, you know what? Your navy is still bigger than the Netherlands. You can just fight him for all his colonies, and I mean you can take like colonial land is stupid cheap to take. You
Yeah. I
can
know. I
uh,
think at the moment, so it'll be a more valuable investment for me to take, like, the trade centers of trade in mainland if it's possible,
yeah,
rather than colonies.
yeah, like definitely if you're thinking of fighting the Dutch, like, I wouldn't. If I were you, I'd see this and be like, no, just no. You're the Dutch. Stay small. It also having these also boosts his trade power in English Channel.
Yeah, I know.
So like you can try and land on him, but if it doesn't work out, then you can just turn
The
around
only
and
problem is just Brad and France. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean that's up to you to figure out. Like Prussia could be actually yeah, you and Prussia against this France and Netherlands could be evenish, especially since you have this
I mean,
your
at the
colony on
moment,
Ireland.
France for me is like a giant stalemate because they have the army quality, but we have like a pretty similar, I think, amount of maximum power and force limit, but they
You
can't land on me enough.
have 70 more manpower or 70 more force limit than the Dutch, and you got more income to build up these force limit buildings.
I'm talking about me France at the
Oh,
moment. Like, I think
I mean,
it'll just become a stalemate eventually.
your force limit with France is even, but I mean, the thing is, these chivalric ideas really do nothing for you. I'm not
Yeah.
like I know. Previous, I'll discuss with staff because previously what we've done is like if a country has a sub and if they were instructed to take an idea group or they just took a wrong idea group like that, we'd sometimes say fix it just because that is like this is very crippling to your country because
Yeah.
The army professionalism is good, and the mill, like the manpower, is nice, but literally everything else is almost everything else is irrelevant to you. It's just the wrong idea group. I don't want to be too harsh on the guy who took it, but it is incorrect. So, I think that's all I'll say for GB, and I'll move on
Right.
to Prussia. So, Prussia exists. They basically made a deal with Sweden to give up basically all of Lubeck trade note in exchange for one, surviving, and two, allowing the Prussia formation. So, they are currently allied to Dalmatia, stuck in the middle of a lot of players that are probably stronger than them. But I guess first thing we need to check is, whoa, wait a second. Is this is that right?
Cities.
Subsidies.
Subsidies.
They're getting $100 of the subsidies from Malaya.
What is that? Why?
I don't know.
He said that Malaya sent it to him because he's getting beat up or something like that.
Maybe. Okay, well, I mean that makes him more income than France or the Netherlands. So
Just subtract it off.
yeah, I know. Yeah, without that, he's at 100 income, which is more or less what I
Is it
expected.
even 100?
Yeah, he's at 200, lose 100. I don't know why we have such high crown land. Like absolutism is probably not super worth to go for. Our manpower is a little bit on the low side, but we are rather small. Oh, wait a second. Hmm. Seeing all these, how many? Oh, we have temples in every province. Okay, that is the first thing that you need to do. Kill all of these temples. All the temples. They are basically useless. And any market that isn't in a trade province needs to be dead. Because you have very little land, you're not going to get any more land without warring a player. So you need to get the most out of your land. Most out of your land being force limit buildings, manpower buildings, and whatever manufactories that you can get. Yeah, all of these good manpower ones you 100% need, and then you need to get these ones up as well. I think you have, yeah, you got most of your manufacturers, although there was still quite, yeah, a lot of yellow in here.
If I remember correctly, Prussia is quite behind on tech as well.
Yeah, he's had to blitz through a lot of the HRE, which was the correct thing to do. No, he's okay, but uh, problem that I see is that yeah, he also has chivalric. He took that as one of his first ideas, which is less bad because he should have quite a bit of army professionalism, but he's been fighting a lot of other players' war. But okay, yeah, he's got 80% army professionalism. He saved it up. He didn't use it for other players' war, so that's very good. Um,
Oh, look at those generals.
yeah, no, because he has. Yeah, the other thing with this is because you get the uh, yearly decay plus he's Prussia. He's got permanent 100 uh, army tradition, so he can get amazing generals pretty easily along with offensive. So his quality is quite good. His quantity is really low. He doesn't have quantity from any of his ideas at all, which I think was probably a mistake. Like, yeah, this is nice, but if this was plutocratic or quantity, I think this would have been better. But yeah, he needs to pick someone to try and fight. He can go against. I mean, really, he can choose anyone that's around him. He can maybe try and get revenge on Sweden. He can uh, go against the Dutch, which, if that a 1 versus 1 is allowed, I think it would be close, provided that he's able to build up his regimental camps. And the thing is, the longer that he waits, and if the Dutch don't get attacked by England and they get these colonies bigger and bigger, he'll just be outnumbered. Uh, he could also, like, probably his quality is better than France. France is behind. This France is relatively weak, I think. Is France on the great power list? They are. Okay. Yeah, it's 500 dev between France. Probably not really likely to be able to get that. But I mean, you also have it's 5 targets: Netherlands, Sweden, France, Austria, or Poland for extra land. We can't sit on this, but we do have. Uh, yeah, like this country's not screwed. It has a lot of buildings it can still build to get stronger, but the longer it does sit around, the weaker it will be. Especially that we. Oh no, we do have economic ideas. Why is it? Oh, I guess it's just expensive to dev. Do we still have our golden age? No, we use it early. As makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll do it for Prussia, so move on to Austria. What Austria has negotiated an alliance with Sweden. I'm sure the player would love to comment on that if he's here. He did lose a bit of land to the Ottomans, being that the Ottomans attacked Dalmatia, Austria defended, and because of weird, annoying things that I disagree with, just game mechanic wise, if you're the emperor and you accept the emperor's call to arms, you are a co-belligerent. So from the war, Ottomans just took only Austrian land, including the gold mine, which was probably very important for Austrian economy. And yeah, so I mean, in the future, you can get around that by declining the first call to arms and then accepting a regular ally call to arms, and then you will not be a co-belligerent. So, I do like this, the fact that we got Deus Volt. So whoever we decide to fight and eventually beat in a war, that's 20% extra land that we can take. Especially if we do it in the next 9 years before this age is over. And we still have access to our golden age, which is not bad at all. Other things that, yeah, I guess first thing to look at is income. So higher than Prussia without the subsidies, but I guess lower than Netherlands. Manpower pool less than 200k, and our force limit of about 200. Not sure why we have a lot of extra plus. Why do we have a colonist? Where's our colonist? Oh, I think that was from someone else. Is this bugged? Yeah, I think this is probably bugged. Yeah, okay. It's a policy. Never mind. Offensive quality ideas, I think, are decent, although I would have loved to see some extra force limit in here. I think that's what we're lacking. We have built up a lot of our force limit buildings, which is good for us. And have some soldiers' households as well. I have to say, we're a similar problem as Prussia, where, yeah, surrounded by players, need extra land somewhere. Losing a lot of money in Vienna due to Vienna stuff, but that is natural, of course. Expansion routes are, if Sweden supports an offensive war into the Ottomans, is one. Possibly killing Prussia is another, or picking off Poland. Maybe can also make a deal with the France, split the Dalmatia along trade notes. That would be, I mean, bad for Dalmatia, obviously, good for Austria. But at this point, any land is very much needed. Got some professionalism banked up, which is not too bad. So, yeah, I think a little bit better of position than Prussia. Also has a better ally nearby. But yeah, similar thing of just a lot of players around and need to try and pick one direction to go and to stay strong and relevant. Now let's take a look at Dalmatia. So Dalmatia has kind of been bullied a lot this game, unfortunately. I mean, yeah, I mean, similar thing as everyone else in Europe, surrounded by players, nowhere to go. Currently defending their ally of Poland, fighting Sweden, which is, I don't know, I guess I'll talk after I get to Sweden about that. I think this is not a war that we gain anything from, and meanwhile just making us vulnerable to maybe a France or an Austria backstab, or even Ottomans if they decide to pounce on that. As for income, 150, so fairly middling based on what we've seen. Uh, only okay, that's why, because Sicily has so much of it, and Sicily is Ottoman land. How are we on the important buildings? Force limit. Still a few that we can do. And soldiers' households, none at all. So I think definitely need to do that. And we are... okay, they're all burger loans, so... I mean, the interest doesn't actually matter. Force limit of 155 with offensive quantity. So that's definitely lower than it needs to be. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I think at this point Dalmatia is behind almost everyone else in Europe except maybe Netherlands or Prussia, but in a worse situation, being that they don't have anyone of their strength to fight. Like France is much too big for you to fight 1 versus 1. Austria also is a little bit on the big side. So the only way that we're being relevant and strong is if someone helps us to get that way, or if you vulture someone dead. Like if Ottomans attacks Austria while Sweden's busy and Sweden can't defend, and Dalmatia you decide to, let the Austria die and then grab a chunk from the dead body, that is also a good path. But you don't have a lot of agency yourself right now. So, I'll go ahead and move on to Sweden, and then I guess I'll discuss the war after, I'll just quick overview of the Swedish side. So, this is large war. Sweden attacked Poland, who was allied to Dalmatia, and France decided to get involved in it, so it is, I guess, a defensive gank, or just defensive 3 versus 1. Sweden is the aggressor, but Dalmatia accepted the call, and then France dropped Andalusia to defend Poland to settle a grudge. So Sweden, income of about 300, has a manpower pool of 1,000,000, which I guess Andalusia is the only country we've seen that is even half of that. Force limit right now is 400, and we are about 120 force limit over it, so it's 500 troops deployed by the Swedish, and losing a decent amount of income, but only 1 loan taken for now, and probably still have the option of taking burger loans, which we'll definitely do. Other thing going for the Swedish side is fantastic amount of army professionalism. If this were to all be used in the war, that is 3 million manpower to be used, plus any extra that is gotten from recruiting generals. And it's not also counting whatever naturally comes by. Looking at army quality, we got 20% ICA, 110 discipline, and morale of about 7, which can be boosted up a little bit more as as army professionals or army tradition goes up. So how much? Yeah, it's currently 13%. Can probably get another 7% once this gets to 100 through battles. So we'll be looking at over 7 morale for the Swedish side. And Tech 17 isn't really a relevant mil tech for Sweden, so probably just going to spend some of that points either deving or buying more generals. Let's go ahead. Oh, also thing to note in the war, it is currently 51% in favor with the war goal occupied, so It is possible to stab hit Poland now for 25% war score, which I guess it's a few provinces. Yeah, it can do 3 provinces, or can do annul treaties with others. So that is a possibility. Now let's take a look at Poland and at the Polish alliance. So first thing we can see, Poland is mostly occupied. I guess I didn't even notice this, but I have or Sweden myself has the Uzbek vassal that has carpet sieged basically the eastern half of Poland, which was quite nice. And meanwhile, I've occupied all of Krakow, which is helping the Austrian economy and hurting the Polish, as all those trade centers are no longer in control. Losing 100 ducats with only 40 in income due to the occupations. Oh, okay. We can only take... Jeez. So, yeah, probably a bit of an issue that the Polish player didn't do. They definitely missed the opportunity to take max loans at the start of the war, knowing that they would be occupied. You want to take the loans before your economy goes down if you're going to get full occupied, because, I mean, right now, you have access to 10,000 ducats of income. And how much is... And we'll be paying for more reinforcements shortly. So, yeah, if nothing changes on the income front and no one sends us money, we'll be bankrupt in about 10-ish years. Faster if more land gets occupied and we have to build more troops. The army is only about 140. We do have quite a lot of discipline, but it's the morale we're lacking in. We're almost 2 morale behind the Swedes. And our army tradition, also, yeah, it can go even higher, get an extra bonus, more than what Sweden can once it gets built up. Some professionalism still to use, because, yeah, we're okay on manpower for now. And we can get, yeah, about 200k. But yeah, we can look at the war screen because the ledger is off. And there's actually more troops on the Swedish side currently than the Polish alliance. So that's potentially a bit of an issue for them. Take a quick look at Dalmatian quality. Dalmatian quality, a little bit better than the Poles. We got 6 morale and 115 discipline, and we're committing 150k troops. Meanwhile, the French have equal morale to the Swedes, but yeah, a little bit more discipline, less infantry combat ability. However, they do have the cannon from quality, which the Swedes do not. Or, yeah, it is quality. So, we'll say the issue for Dalmatia and France is that it is far enough away from their home turf that if they get stack wiped, or it's going to take a long time for them to recruit new troops and send them over if they opt to do so. We can see there is this battle here where Dalmatia is currently losing to Sweden, but yeah, fantastic generals on both sides. Yeah, that Swedish general's a 6-6. Damn, I didn't. That's quite good for me. You know, it's Polish troops coming in, but also quite a lot of Swedish troops. So this battle is likely to be lost. Taking a look strategically, the war goal is this province here, Vicamires, which is currently protected by 2 Swedish forts, including a level, I guess, 5 fort in the vassal of Teutonic Order. So that is, I mean, good for the Swedish side that it's such an easy war goal to defend. And yeah, I mean, the Polish side, the France and the Dalmatia, they could commit more. None of them are over their force limits. But I mean, it depends on what they are thinking or what their objective is in this war. If it's slow down Sweden and make him pay, then that is definitely a thing to do. If it is like actually trying to prop up the Pole and keep him alive, they'd have to do more, because as it currently stands, with slight troop advantage for the Sweden plus advantage of fighting on or near their territory where they can recruit troops faster to replenish anything that gets stack wiped or needs to be consolidated, then that definitely favors the Swedes. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not a cakewalk at this point. It's more of an even fight, but I do think the Polish alliance is on the weaker end of things based on how everything is currently set up. And Poland, even if they win, is probably going to have to bankrupt at some point again. So meanwhile, we have the Ottomans, who are still the number one great power. Income of 450, so far above everyone else that we've seen. Got 50% extra than what Sweden currently has. Are they still... Okay, no, they're not getting that free trade money from Yemen anymore, because they did manage to spawn global trade in Constantinople. So well done to them. Ideas-wise, they took trade as their next group, which, because of tag switching bugs, when you're this size, admin ideas for the GovCap is definitely nice. So maybe, but you definitely need the merchants with this many trade nodes to put guys in. We are stealing quite a bit of money from Persia, and being that Yemen is our one and only ally for now, that's a little bit interesting from my perspective. Army size, Jesus, that's a 500 force limit. 100 above anyone else, but that is thanks to our quantity ideas plus our Ottomans, so that's 70% bonus force limit. And, I mean, it's still, these are the Ottomans. They're strong, they're big, and what do they want to do? So, allied to Yemen, which is their immediate neighbor to the east, makes me think that they want to go into what's it called? Yeah, into the north and west, into Europe. And with this war against Sweden, this is an excellent time for the Ottomans to take their pick of who do they want to punish, should they want to. They can, I mean, if they wanted to, they can side with Sweden and take more land from Poland. Astrakhan feeds into Constantinople. That wouldn't be terrible for them. Kiev is still good land for dev and manpower, even though they can't use the trade. Austria also makes sense. We've got some cores and claims on them, as well as Dalmatia. And I think the pipe dream for most Ottoman players is if they can somehow get control of Venice, that 100% secures their trade. They get an end node, they send everything Constantinople to Ragusa to Venice, and they do have the trade ideas to allow them the merchants to make that happen. So that would be, a pretty pog thing to do. And were they to go in on Dalmatia and Austria, that would, or one of the two. I don't think anyone could stop them unless this war in Poland were immediately resolved and some of the players sided against the Ottomans. But I don't think, strongest country in the game still. One thing I guess sort of will point out for Europeans is, currently Ottomans are in the time where they started to fall off. They don't get another infantry until Tech 19, whereas all the Europeans, all the Westerns, get theirs at 15. And the next infantry at Tech 19 isn't really any better than their Tech 12. They only get one extra pip, so they start getting outscaled by Indian pips and by Western pips. I believe. So let's move on to Yemen. Yemen had pretty good week, I believe. They are still one of the top great powers with fantastic force limit of 300. Manpower is not too shabby at all, and income is definitely where they shine. Oh boy, that's a lot. Gold, not as much gold income as they thought, but notable things is the Mughals player got deaded, and Yemen is likely to take their part of Samarkand, if not Lahore as well. So, very nice for them. They also successfully fought a defensive war against Zulu and won, but it was a negotiated settlement. It wasn't an uncon, so they gained a little bit of land. I think only like 1 or 2 provinces. So, yes, the big thing for me is where does this Yemen strike next? I think, yeah, I mean, moving into India makes sense. They can also take advantage of Anatolian pips falling off, because definitely I would think not having Basra, because Hormuz feeds to Basra, which feeds to Persia, and having Persia as the end node would be better. Oh, we don't even have anyone collecting trade there. Where are all our merchants? There. Ethiopia. I don't think you need your merchant there if your vassal is going to be pushing out for you. So, I don't know. Maybe you can collect in Persia and get some extra money. But yeah, it's a lot of trade nodes to manage merchants in. So, no, I mean, yeah, I don't see what there is to say too much about Yemen. Our buildings, oh yeah, force limit buildings are definitely something we appear to be lacking in, but oh my god, all our manufactories are done. A lot of soldiers' households too, so yeah, that's definitely well done, but I mean, if you can build a bunch of these and then start fighting someone with your massive force limit, I think, yeah, to be honest, you build like 50 force limit buildings, I think you're on even footing with the Ottomans almost. So, and likely stronger than any of the Indians, maybe Bengal, unsure. But speaking of, let's go ahead, let's take a look at Congo before I forget them, because I often forget what's in Africa. Oh, right, they are Zulu. So, Congo has formed the Zulu and opted to not take their ideas, which are focused on canon. That's fine. Taking trade ideas next, which, yeah, I can see that's also a lot of trade nodes to put things in. Although we're doing quite fine on merchants, or do we already have both of them? To be fair, I don't know what we're gonna do with these extra 2 merchants, so I don't really know how useful that is going to be. I mean, you can put in Gujarat, can put in Coromandel, but I think that's going to be relatively low impact. So, unfortunately, we lost our war to Yemen. I think we were just massively outnumbered. Yeah, they have a good bit more force limit than we do, thanks to their quantity ideas. And yeah, and indigenous ideas is a very good sort of greedy idea group. But I think, yeah, definitely, I think when you're punching like from a little bit below, like we're unfortunately weaker than Andalusia, we're weaker than Yemen. If this had been offensive or quality, I think that may have turned out a little bit better for us. But the good news is we still have quite a few provinces to colonize and develop for ourselves. Yeah, we do have econ and the 5% from indigenous ideas that should help us catch up a little bit in our development Because, yeah, we're 1200 dev, which quite a lot behind Andalusia and a decent bit behind Yemen, unfortunately. Do we have a lot of force buildings built, but a lot of yellow? Curious if there's, yeah, a good amount of temples we can stomp to replace them, but it's just whether or not we have the income to do so. And yeah, with 300 income, I think we are fine. 80 from gold, quite nice. So yeah, we're a little bit down, but definitely not out. I think we can. Yeah, it's just look for an opportunity when Yemen or Andalusia are weak, or when you think you've caught an up, and yeah, you only have two options, so that's the good thing for you. You're Diplo simple. Let's move on to the Indians. So we have Deccan, which what is this war? Mughals. It's a humiliate war. Okay, so what we have done as the Mughals, we kind of sat on our two trade nodes, which I think is possibly a bit of a mistake, but we have opted to go. Oh no, we did call. I thought we had. Yeah, we do have this colony, but I guess we did it with just the policy and not exploration ideas, or we deleted those. I don't know. Probably can sell a crown land whenever, but we're not going to get with India and four states. You're not going to get absolutism. That's unfortunately how it goes. And was it a good thing about having your colony Australia is the colonial region that is part of your colony is quite a bit larger. It includes not only New Zealand and I believe, oh yeah, not New Guinea, but all the Polynesian Triangle will be part of your Australian colony. So that's a lot of land you can get in there, which should boost up your manpower and force limit a lot, which is not currently a crown colony. We should do that. Make it a crown colony. And yeah, I mean, that's not a lot yet, but once it gets up, it starts becoming very, very relevant. Allies, currently allied to the Bengal and the Shun. And, I hope someone from East Asia is in here and can enlighten me as to the wars, because I was not able to watch. Building-wise, how are we doing? A lot of force limit buildings that we need to definitely be building.
Hey, you're finally in Asia.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Beautiful. I'm Siam.
Okay. Yeah, another thing, kill the temples, because they are taking up slots for your regimental camps and possible manufactories. Some we don't have yet, so that is the key. Temples do nothing. Temples are poopy. Tax is bad. Income-wise, also 300, so we're part of the 300 club with a few other Asian nations, which is quite nice. And I guess sort of the big question for Deccan, if we're friends with Bengal, is where do we go? I think Malaya should be... what is it? Yeah, possibly jealous of our colony in South Africa, which we would need a navy to compete with, and with only 90 or 100 force limit, I don't know how well our navy's going to be able to compete with them. So I mean, if you can somehow betray Bengal, I mean, this land is always good, or it's Yemen. So we got 3 choices to go, although I really wouldn't choose to make an enemy of Malaya if you can help it. Take a look at the Bengalese. Bengal, he would be angry if I didn't point out that he is the number 3 great power. He's nommed, oh yeah, all of Burma region. Everything in Burma is his, so that's, yeah, definitely fantastic. Were I him. And all of Doab and basically most of Indian Lahore, thanks to, yeah, I guess Bengal's been doing some player slaying lately. They've slayed the Mughals, and I think Siam looks pretty slain, but not necessarily completely. But they've lost a lot of land that they had gained previously. So, income-wise, not part of the 300 club. What a loser. Jeez. Oh. Jeez. We got the gold mine. We got the gold mine. Fantastic. Definitely need to convert that if you can, because this is lowering the goods produced, which affects your income. Ideas-wise, we've opted for religious, which... Yeah, I agree. This is a late transition to the Sikh religion, which, we've opted for some of the good policies. 20% in true faith, not bad at all. Extra 10% manpower as well, so yeah, looking pretty at 440k. I think one of the next one gives you 2.5 discipline, which is fantastic, but yeah, with low religious unity, definitely going to be hurting us. I don't want to see, is this monument Buddhist only?
Yeah, so I had to step away, so I missed the first part of what you were saying about my country. Anything big I should know about?
You're poor, everyone else is richer. Jeez.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
This
if
feels
I'm,
like middle school again.
yeah, if I'm reading this monument correctly, this does work for you. It just has to be your religion in the province. As long as it's the state religion, it's fine.
I don't think so. I think it has to be,
It says it's one of the following must be true. That it. Oh no! Yeah, no. Oh, no. Sorry, you're correct. I read it wrong. You're correct. You have to be one of the Buddhist religions.
yeah,
That's obnoxious, but
it's fine.
yeah.
I'm gonna be able to get Angkor Wat, which is nice.
Does that affect? I thought that was only Hindu.
No, it's a Dharmic religion as well.
Okay. The other one that's quite nice is the one in Doaba, which is monthly autonomy change when you're taking new land. That's pretty good. So take a look at the army. We're about 200 force limit, only about 30 of which are a Rajput. So I definitely think if you can, you should be trying to give more land to the Rajputs. Yeah, we've only got 17.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it might be slightly late to be doing the full, swap over, but if... I don't know, maybe you can try to, not sell for a while, just dev it up to, 50 or 60% so you can start, revoking the Crown Land privileges and give... if you can get at, 50% Crown Land to Rajputs, and you get half of your infantry as Rajput infantry, which are absolutely nutty for those that don't know. Oh, you don't have the other things? Let's see. What are you doing, Bane? I think you're missing the privilege. Oh. What is it? One more time. Damn it. Okay. I forgot what you're supposed to do.
Is there another regiment?
You're missing the privilege that the government reform gives you. You're missing this one that gives them it gives them an extra discipline and fire received or something. 'Cause right now they're only getting
Oh, wow.
the extra 5 morale. They get an extra 5 discipline, and they get fire received or fire done or something. There's 2 or 3 bonuses that they're missing. Rajputs are filthy.
Okay. I'll have to look at that.
Yeah, I recently played Nepal. When I was full Rajput armies, I fought a Persia that was Zoroastrian with the monument for 10 discipline and fire received. He had that, and my cannon stack wiped his cannon stack because it was all Rajputs. So anyway, so yeah, you've done some player killing. You killed Mughals, and it looks like you've deaded Siam pretty good. And, oh yeah, I see. You took this to take Angkor Wat for some extra. Oh yeah, it's tech cost.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be nice, but now that we're getting into the later game, I don't know how useful that's going to be.
Yeah.
I'm also going to switch out religious for, what's it called? Protectionist pretty soon here.
Okay.
Or maybe innovativeness.
I think, well, if you're swapping this out to anything, I'd say admin, because you're going to need that gov cap.
That is true.
So, yeah, I'm not sure how much more of Siam you're planning to take, because you got all of Burma. Like, Siam node is still good, a lot of money, a lot of good land, but it unfortunately does not flow to you. So you are going to lose out on some of that money, especially with Deccan taking half of your money out of Doab.
Yeah.
So with that, it might also be better to collect trade in Bengal. Like sometimes it's maybe you're still losing anyway, but that just is what happens when you're downstream. Buildings wise, not a lot of force limit buildings done.
Yeah, I've not been really worried about force limit. I figured it'd be better to build up my economy right now.
Oh yeah, and there's a lot of these money manufactories still to do in a lot of yellow provinces.
Yeah, it's not like because I've not been building stuff. I've been building a ton of stuff. It's
Yeah.
just there's so much stuff to build. It's not even funny.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of land. It was a reseed as well. So you're would be behind if you had started from your a lot of temples to stomp too for extra building slots, but
Yeah, most of that's in recently conquered land.
Yeah.
I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Biggest thing is just scaling up, micromanaging your country a little bit, and yeah, having to convert this stuff when you can. But yeah, see, this is what's so nice right now. You're getting free monarch points from being Sikh.
Yeah, that's super nice.
Yeah, so I think Bengal looking is definitely the strongest nation in, I guess, in Asia, not including Yemen. Yemen is probably on par with you. Maybe a little bit stronger for now, but if you get to build up all your buildings, you'll surpass them, I think. Especially if you get Rajput armies. So, Siam Play, you said that you were here? I thought he was. So, I'll just go quickly through this because this looks like we could very well be dead. Okay, we're 900 dev, so actually no, I think we're fine. If you're like a 1K dev country, you are not dead. But how bad is our situation? We have only 26 loans. It's about 20% of our income and interest, unfortunately. But we can sell and do some other things. And our allies are Malacca and Manchu. So I think part of the big reason that Siam lost their war was the fact that the Manchu player left. So it was an AI in the war rather than a player. So I will say definitely feel badly for Siam for that. Feels like they got a little bit scummed out, but ideas is definitely what I think is hurting them right now. So Siam is a fantastic tag. It's amazing. The secret to it, for those that don't know, is this. Your cavalry fire, which, for those that don't know, the reason cavalry is generally bad for most nations is because they do not deal any damage or very little in the fire phase. Getting one extra cavalry fire pip completely changes it. Like, it's revolutionary for Siam. And what you want to do with that is lean very hard into cavalry combat ability things. So right now we only have 25%. And if this offensive is good, but I think we needed with horde ideas. That gives us another 25%. Where is horde ideas? Yeah, 25%. When you're there, your cavalry starts slapping, and you don't want any of this infantry. This infantry is absolutely garbage. And hopefully we also had the mission for permanently cheaper cav. Yeah, we did. Okay, because you get that. You get the even cheaper cav from horde ideas, and your cavalry cost is basically the same as infantry. So you can run full cavalry stacks. And it is disgusting. It is very strong. And if you're able to swap over to that and have a little bit of a comeback / renaissance, you might be able to win. Like, the big thing that I also noticed is we don't have a lot of force limit. Oh, because we built no force limit buildings. So, yeah, we need kill these temples, kill shipyards. You don't need shipyards. Oh, why do you have shipyards? Okay, this country is definitely salvageable. We're 900 dev. There's Ayutthaya here, which is an AI, which, I mean, just have a claim on it, eat it. How long is this truce with Bengal? Okay, it is 10 years. That is enough. Okay, unfortunately we can't finish off the AI in that time. But, yes, if Malaya is around and they're helping you, I think this is what you need to do. You need to look into every province where it's yellow and you can't build a forcement building. Kill the useless buildings if they are there. Like this you keep, but anything with a temple or a marketplace or a sailor shop or something, you delete it. Yeah, like a shipyard. Delete it. Take out a bunch of loans. We're a bankruptcy building for this. So how much can we take? Okay, we can take 30k loans. Fantastic. So, the thing with bankruptcy, when you go bankrupt, any buildings that were built earlier than 5 years before you bankrupt will be deleted. So you have to, like, you take all these loans and you build every single force limit building that you can. It takes a year for this to build. So January 1602, you have to wait 5 years after that. So you have to wait till January 1607 or so, and you can give it a month or two just to be safe. And then once that 5 years has passed, you go bankrupt. And you keep those buildings, and like look at all this land. This is going to be, well, actually, yeah. How many provinces do we have? You have 69 provinces, and basically all of them we need to build. So we'll get another 50 force limit out of that, plus some extra because we have plutocratic ideas. So that's going to be like another 70 force limit. You go bankrupt then, and then the truce expires before then, because 1607, yeah, no, it'll expire perfectly after that. As soon as you're out of bankruptcy, the truce will be over, so you'll be ready to defend yourself if you pull this off properly. And if you're expecting Bengal to come back and kill you, that is the best way to prepare your country, especially if Malaya is committing to your defense. So, speaking of, let's go ahead and look to Malaya. Oops. Malaya, first thing we'll notice, gone for maritime idea, so committed.
I didn't. Can I clarify the decision?
Sorry?
The reason why I took maritime over trade is because Japan has a huge navy. It was just a counter possible.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, considering that they are your enemy.
And the Japanese basically the Malayan language when it comes to.
Yeah, although I will say quality probably would have been the better choice. just because the thing with naval combat, the biggest thing is morale of navies is the biggest modifier, and quality has that as well as the military bonuses. So I think maritime basically, I think it means that it boosts up only your navy, while quality boosts up your navy and your army. So you could be with that. You could have been a little bit more useful on the ground. As for was it money wise? Yeah, I'd say yeah. We're basically the 300 club, so that's quite nice. And force limit of about 200, and probably key for. Oh my god, yeah, you have 400 naval force limit. I sincerely doubt there is anyone that can come close to you. Because at this point, you don't even need to build 200 heavies, although you definitely could, and you probably should have more than 30. But like, you could build 200 galleys, and then that's just enough to smack anyone.
Yeah, that was my goal basically. Japan has about 250 force naval.
Oh, okay. He's pretty close. So yeah, then you probably want to lean a little bit more into heavies then. Buildings wise, could definitely use some more force limit buildings. Oh, we got universities now. Damn, you took that tech early. Not sure why you did that if you don't have money to build universities.
I just had spare admin points. That's the reason why I did it.
Yeah, then, if you're in that situation, like, sure, it's okay to take techs early, but I think it would have been better because you see all these yellow provinces where you can still build manufactories. It's like, if you have extra admin, you can just dev the tax so that you get the extra building slots.
All right.
So, just in the future, yeah, admin tech, it's not good. Deving tax is not good, but yeah, like you get these jungle provinces that are expensive to dev and crappy to. Oh, you put, I don't know, like 100 admin points in here. Yay, you get a building slot.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Got it.
yeah, it's a little bit better. Yeah, basically you finished up your land. Not sure why Siam's colonizing here. But
I have no idea. Everybody just decided to go and simulate.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, so Japan is your enemy, and I don't know. I think you
The
can
issue
definitely just dip.
I'm a bit in a like I'm in a bit of a situation because I don't have any military to fight any offensive wars with. So that's what I have. And Siam got really thrashed in the previous war. I tried to help as much as I could, but he didn't have cannon stacks and he was using infantry, so it didn't look nice at all. Didn't have.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I guess it's very much up to you to decide, like, if you want to keep supporting the Siam against Bengal, or you can cut a deal with Bengal because, grabbing like chunks of land out of the Siam trade node would be great for you, and he can't really use the trade money anyway, so he might not be too upset if you take a few states. That would be nice and strategic and backstabby of you. Also, notice that you're sending 100 ducats to Prussia.
Don't point it out. Come on.
Yeah,
that was a little meme.
Yeah. I don't think I really have to point out that, like, especially when you have universities now. I think if you're playing selfishly, trying to make you strong, you want that money to build the universities on anything that's less than 10 dev, and then anything that's like a grasslands and less than 20 afterwards. Because yeah, you got all these jungle provinces that you want to dev up to at least
Maybe
10.
like have the subsidies. That sounds good.
Well, that is up to him to decide. Yeah, unfortunately, don't have any power projection. But I guess that's because we're not a great power. No, there's definitely things you can do. Like it's nice. You're Malaya. It's very hard for anyone to touch you. I would say
I could pirate all of all the nodes around the world. Nobody can do anything.
Oh yeah. Some things that you should also do. You should probably move your capital off of here onto an island somewhere, because I mean, the good thing that's at Malaya is even if you took like a lot of this land, if you don't have forts there, you don't have your capital there, and someone occupies it, like if Bengal decides that they want your land, they occupy it, and if you have no force there, it's no war score, and you can't take anything. You can just say, "Heh heh, fuck you. I have boats, you don't." So, I mean, if you think that someone's going to be invading you, you delete the forts. I mean, they're nice against if you have rebels, but 100% move your capital to some nice trade good province on an island somewhere, something that makes a lot of money. You can also opt to fight Japan over the Philippines. It's a little bit.
Yeah, his army is insane. She has like eight morale or seven morale. I had like five. Not complete.
Yeah, no, I've been in this situation. I played my first multiplayer game was Malaya against Japan, who had the Philippines, and it's a pain. But if you have naval superiority, you can do it. You can definitely succeed.
So in a possible war, what do I do? Do I just blockade Japan?
Yeah. So I mean, what you would do. Well, it's very much a game of how well can you manage your navy and how much is he paying attention. Because if you jump on him and he does like if he only has this 30k here defending, and what you'd want to do is you land on somewhere that only has or what is it? Yeah, like you'd want like this island, like Panay or Minadoro, or even here, like something that you can blockade. You land troops there, you occupy it, and then you quickly land more troops or you recruit mercs there, and then you just try and blitz it before he can respond and recruit mercs, and you intercept any boats that he sends. And
Yeah.
what you do then, so it's like you occupy everything with a straight crossing, and you keep it blockaded with your boats. And if then like he has a bunch of troops here, you can either try and overwhelm his numbers, like overwhelm him with numbers if you prevented him from landing and he didn't recruit enough mercs, or you can just say, "Oh, all your troops are here. They're stuck. You blockade them and then you just go somewhere else." Like you see 200k Japanese troops defending here or defending here, you just say, "Okay, lol, take 80k troops, land in Japan, build mercs and just occupy everything." But
All right.
that's the thing. You have to use your mobility to your advantage because you will have naval superiority, but he will have army superiority. So you either need to absolutely crush him with numbers, or you just dance around him until until you occupy enough. Because like the other thing what you do with Japan is you would land. Oh yeah, this is bad. Very good for him, for you, bad for him. You'd land on like this island or this island, fully occupy all the strait crossings, and then blockade them, and he can't get across. And then he's just watching from so many directions, and like the thing. So if you occupied this and you occupied this, he then has to defend the north. He has to defend the south. You can try to fight here if he's there. You load up in your boats. You go here, and you're just faster than him, because boats go faster than. It's faster to take your boats from this island to here than it is to take an army from here to here. So, yeah, it's how well you can manage it. Or, I mean, the easiest thing would also just be conquer Australia from Deccan. You just fully occupy it, and you have a bigger navy, and you say, "Ha ha, fuck you, I have boats, you don't." So.
Yeah, I think the entire war with Bengal, I was just managing all of Bengal now. And I think he was making half the money he would get from Bengal.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I don't think this really matters that much. It's nice to get, but like, getting Philippines would be better, or even managing to kill off Japan would be better for you. So, with that said, I'm going to move on to the Chinese. We have Shen, who's made a bit of a comeback with their friend Bengal. They've reclaimed some of their land in China. Money-wise, about the same as Siam. Still less dev than Siam, actually. So yeah, this Siam is down, but definitely not out. Army-wise, yeah, very similar. How are we on loans? No loans at all. Okay, that's great for you. But we got no money. which is a problem. And yeah, it's a problem to
I've
our
been
ally.
trying to put soldier houses down. That's why I have no floating cash.
Yeah. What you need to do? Turn off these drilling armies. Like, drilling is nice, but money is nicer. Turn them off. Turn off all your forts unless you think someone's attacking you. Because you need this money more than you need the professionalism. And
Okay.
you don't get that. Yeah, if you have money, drilling is nice, but you don't have money, so I don't think you can afford it. Because you force limit buildings, some need more of those. Similar to the Siam player, I think those are your priority. Because force limit is often king. Yeah, some soldiers' households are not bad, but probably need to get these good money-making manufactories down first. And oh yeah, and we got temples to kill. Yeah, temples and marketplaces to kill.
Yeah, there's going to be temples everywhere, and the marketplaces that were there were from the original player that I took from.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
the
no,
AI.
that's fine. I mean, some of them are good and useful. I'm just
Well,
seeing-
yeah, you need them on trade centers, but
yeah, I mean, only if they're being contested. Like ones in Xi'an. Yeah, you don't need them in any of your nodes. Maybe Canton.
okay.
I don't know. Trade setups. Trying to trade is just obnoxious if you don't have everything.
Yeah, I'm just trying to circle it back into Xeon.
Yeah, definitely need to sell. Like, don't go for high crown land. You're a republic, you're never gonna have it. Definitely need to promote some of these cultures unless
I'm so close. I'm so close to being an empire, though.
you're still you're 300 dev away. And okay.
It's NNG.
Okay.
It's 150 after that.
I still think it. I mean, you're at war. It definitely was worth. I guess there's a bit more of Chagatai you can take. Like, yeah, I mean, you're not in the worst spot, Siam. Especially if Bengal keeps helping you kill Siam, then you can expand into that node depending on what he allows you to get. But yeah, not having, or at the very least, promote the ones that aren't accepted.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
'Cause if you, yeah, I mean, you can be greedy if you want to, but I don't think you should.
These estates were pretty much chosen for me
Yeah.
when I got in there. I
Yeah, that's fine. I think protectionism makes sense. It's a decent money idea, and you need money.
I'm assuming quality should be my next idea, or quantity even.
I think maybe offensive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, offensive
Yeah.
or quality. Yeah,
So,
no, you don't need quality. You already have ICA.
Oh, okay.
Offensive, because offensive, what it gives you is very good generals, plus the discipline, which you don't
Oh,
have.
there's test. Yeah, I forgot about that.
So, other one is also theocracy, which gives you cheaper generals, so that you can buy professionalism easier.
Yeah, that's fair. Cause I'm a republic and I've got a 666 ruler.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, good thing for you is that you're gonna get your 10% morale from your government soon. Yeah, it's in 20 years, so that will be a nice boost once you get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my morale's sky high right now already.
Yeah. Yeah, good thing that you're roughly on par with Siam and yeah, with Bengal. Oh yeah.
Siam popped theirs, I haven't.
To be honest, yeah, you should probably pop it.
Yeah, because I'm not going to
Sooner
get it in the next
or-
stage.
Oh yeah, or what is it? Like, yeah, no. What you can do? Do you have universe? Yeah, like basically, like bank up your tech until you're gonna take the next tech group, or like until it's 900 in each. Then take your golden age and just start using it to dev.
Okay. I just dumped the full 900 military into my nation. That's why it's so low right now.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, just definitely make sure that you pop it before the next age in case you can't get those
Yeah,
things.
that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I think you can use the golden age. You can try to scale up a bit, and yeah, no, it makes sense. You can keep killing Shun or Siam. That makes sense unless you want to turn on Manchu for whatever reason. And,
Manchu's my enemy as well.
oh,
There's
he
the two
is
of them.
right. He's okay. Yeah, so you want both of them dead.
Yeah.
Looking at Manchu. Holy
Manchu
crap.
wanted to form Qing, so that's why he's taken the south provinces.
Yeah, and you have.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he is Tech Fort 12 out of 16.
And
oh boy.
check his ideas as well. He's behind in that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I guess it's a lot of land that he's had to core, but I guess you need to be doing vassal feeding if you haven't been. What's his capital? Yeah. I mean, good thing for him, he still has Chagatai to go into. Yeah, I mean, there's cores here. Go into Chagatai if you don't already have a truce. Yeah, no, I don't think you do. Just, take the land, vassal feed it. Just feed it all to a vassal.
Kazakh is his vassal as well.
Yeah. That's nice. But are we focusing at him? Please tell me we are. Okay. Oh, we don't have. Well, yeah. This was AI for a bit, so that might be part of the reason things are fucky.
Yeah.
Income-wise,
though,
quite low. Where's our gold mine? It's here. It's only 6. We should try and probably boost this to 10 or even 12 at this point. But oh yeah, that's only 3 ducats in Beijing, really? It's devastation. Yeah, probably time to move our trade center here as well, just because we have more trade power here than there. And yeah, I need to push out of Hangzhou, push out of Japan as well. Yeah, I'm not sure. Where are our merchants? Collecting in Nippon. Yeah, you don't have enough trade power for that. Collecting. Yeah, we can definitely fix our trade setup here. Center of trade, push this to Beijing, push this to Beijing, and push Xi'an to Beijing. Because caravan power, you're going to get a whole boost of power there. Alternatively, can also collect in Yumen, especially after killing off Chagatai, since we already have 40%. So I think that would be good. But yeah, right, do we still have that exploit? Yes, we still do. I don't know why. Where are our colonists? Oh, okay. We do have colonists in Alaska, California.
He's also got New Zealand.
Oh, that's his colony? Oh, I thought that was just a native country. Okay. Well, that's going to be a nice boost. That, yeah. I mean, not bad at all, because that gives you a nice boost to manpower and force limit. Of which, yeah, okay, we got more force limit than freaking anyone else in Asia. But the problem is, I guess our army, until we can form Qing, like, what are we missing?
Missing Nantek from Japan.
Ah. And being that they are our enemy, I don't think...
There's absolutely no way.
Yeah. And, because... What is it? If we do have it, and we get to form Qing, we get very good things, because we don't have any Cav ideas. So we would want to take these new and improved ideas. Get discipline, get 15 morale, get some manpower, and manpower recovery. Hot damn, that's pretty good. As well as advisor cost, so very, very good. And probably would use that to swap to Shinto, just for extra morale, since Tengri doesn't really do anything for us since we're not Cav. But I don't know, biggest problem for Qing is their lack of money.
Would it be worth it for Shun to form king or Qing?
I don't think you can.
I can.
You can? Huh.
Is in state. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. So.
Yeah, that's how you get empire rank. Annex all of Manchu. That's how you get empire.
Yeah, so. Okay, comparing ideas. So what we get that is good. You get 15 ICA, 25% more manpower, and manpower recovery. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Qing is yeah, if you can't go Nepal, this is what you want to do. You form Qing, take the ideas, and you trade that. What is it? Manpower and ICA for 15 morale, advisor cost, discipline, similar amount of morale, and some other small bonuses. So, I think,
Gotcha.
yeah, definitely good. And, yeah, then if you wanted to, it might be.
My thing already gives me, my religion gives me morale.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, at that point, I would say, yeah, you'd keep it.
I get the Defender of the Fate as well without fucking my ally over in Shinto.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not worth to go Shinto and have 0% religious unity at this point. So, yeah, no, if you can get Qing, and being that you're friends with Japan, if he can coordinate to help you, then that would be good for you. Meanwhile, on to Japan. We are, yeah, I guess, I mean, all these 4 Asian countries, Siam, Shun, and the Manchu, sorry, Manchu player, they're all about the same crappy level of income at 120. Our ideas are quality, eco, offensive, innovative. To be honest, I guess this is going for, what is it called? Yeah, this looks like, yeah, we're going land Japan instead of naval Japan, because we don't have a, what's it called? Exploration ideas. So, which is fine. I mean, Japan ideas are still quite good on for your army quality. Yeah, it's like 6 morale, not too bad without any other modifiers, but definitely a thing that to point out for Japan that you should be doing. Next idea, 100% take theocracy, because you get this leader cost effect. And you have, where is it? I forget which province it's in. Is it this one? No. There's one that's leader cost. Maybe am I stupid or am I blind? Oh, I think we did remove it from the mod, I believe. Yeah, okay, it's removed, so never mind. Because before one of these gave leader cost, and it was absolutely insanely stupid. But anyways, we do seem to have quite the large navy. Oh, that's 200 flippin' galleys. Holy crap. So, that is obviously a Malayan defense force. Makes sense to me. And I guess given what I previously said to Malaya, I think it might make sense for you to park your army on, like, in the, in the Philippines, if you are expecting Malaya to come for you. Your force limit is, yeah, not too great, but on par with the region, but you have, like everyone else, lots of buildings to build, so that's similar advice to you, my friend. And you are up on tech, so that's well done for you, and yeah, I think definitely it makes sense for you to continue to be allied to Shun. You, at the very least, want to complete your trade node from the death of Manchu, and Jiren would be nice. Beijing would also be, but I think you should probably prioritize Hangzhou before then, because you can put your money there, or at least prevent your Japanese money from leaking. So, I think that about does it for this podcast. I don't think I've missed anyone, so I guess big takeaway, I think Andalusia looking nice and big. I think they're going to be the monster of like Western Europe. They can basically fight anyone they want to. Ottomans is still Ottomans. Sweden would be the monster of East/Northern Europe. Yemen is also looking quite strong, and yeah, can probably needs to pick one of two other big boys to fight, either Ottomans or Bengal, who's definitely the Asian hegemon. He is at least twice as strong as any other country in like India and East Asia. So I guess those are the countries to watch out for, to either kill someone by the end of next week or get coalitioned, as people see that they are strong and scary. So I guess with that, I'll just end that. I think after next week, depending on how the game looks, we'll put up a vote on whether or not to end the campaign and start a new one in a week or two following it, as well as get some feedback on what people think of the mod, whether or not we find a new mod for the next game or keep the current mod for one more campaign if people are used to it and enjoy it. So I think that about does it, and see you all next week.